Hey! Welcome back, everybody. Today we're talking about the update happening for us on Rust Console Edition testing branch for the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, next generations, and everything in between. And I'm Jade Monkey. Okay, so a bit of an apology, some confusion happening. I thought the quality of life update had already happened with no testing and then just got pushed to main branch. That was incorrect. Turns out that was just the community server update that came out, which makes sense why that never hit PTB. And the one we currently have is the quality of life update that's sitting in testing branch and should come out by the end of November. I think it was confusing because we had some community server stuff smashed in with the update prior, so I thought those two things were already happening. So I don't know, and I'm sure it was my fault, but either way, I had those smashed together. So it makes sense now that we have this. So all of the estimations that we made prior are still standing, just push it 1 month out. So things like minicopter and the vehicles, the modular vehicles, excuse me, more specifically, I still think are going to be a thing very soon. If not on testing branch by the end of the year, it should be happening at the front end of 2025. Very exciting. And there are a few things here in the patch notes to kind of show you what's going on. So we're going to walk through some of those predictions and also what's happening here on PTB. And all of this should be coming out, I don't know if I said this already, but by the end of November 2024 for realsies this time. So we finally know what's in the patch. I promise. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit some of the patch notes because there's some very pertinent stuff here. Remote C4 can now be activated with the RF transmitter. That's real. Check this out. Let me just go ahead and show you right here. You can now link or pair C4 or turn on the RF function and then set the frequency. I set mine to 2222. You can throw it over here. If you set your transmitter to the same frequency, it'll beep as it has in the past, but then it'll make one final beep and then it's active. I already set off the thing once. This is like take number 52. There we go. Now that these are both on the same thing, we can activate it like so. Beautiful. Yes, yes. Tugboats, beware. Well, double time. Yeah, very nice. Also, actually, we'll just show you right now because it's actually in the list as well. Our armored doors are now legitimately 1000 HP as opposed to the 800. Very nice. I was wondering when we were going to get that, so it's really cool that we have the remote C4 and also the doors that are better. So armored doors are even better. So tugboats are a bit tougher, but not really because C4 is dangerous. Okay, back to the patch notes real fast. Yeah, it's getting dark in here. Yikes. Let's see. Left-handed POV, which you can see me active right now, or it's active on my character right now. So Southpaw is active in there. Icons can turn translucent if they're not accepted by the container. New loading screen for starting and stopping seasonal events, which is really cool. As you can see, we have some more seasonal event type stuff. We actually have some of those string lights at the top. Beautiful. Don't know if they'll be active during the event, but they should be. If not, I think server owners will be able to activate those things if they want to. As we said, armored doors. Boat vendor now sells torpedoes, so tugboats, beware. It used to be at the bottom of this thing here. Let me just show you at the bottom of the old tech tree. You'd have to really do some heavy research. And you no longer do you have to do such things. There it is. See it? Yeah, that was mad scrap to get there. So I don't know how I feel about that, but I mean, it is in line with the Steam version or the PC version of Rust, so there you go. Adding the quick option, this is nice, to add fuse when a player has a fuse in their inventory. Very nice for us on controllers. Yeah, extremely useful. Flashlights are now toggled using left trigger or L2. Horse saddlebag slot has been increased to 12. Also, there's a new inventory screen for that. Let me just show you what this looks like real fast. Open this up here. So if you have the saddlebags on top, if you have the saddlebags equipped, that's not a change, but you can no longer open it from here. You have to be on the horse, then look down. Now you can loot, and there's the container. So that's nice. I mean, we have no other ground vehicles, so I use horses all the time, so that is a nice change. Also, let's go back to our patch notes here, as I'm thoroughly confused. Let's see, flashlights, saddlebags. Player can now pick up small and large planter boxes with the hammer if there's nothing inside like seeds, fertilizer in the planter box. Custom SMG ammo capacity has been increased to 30. That's hot. Incendiary HV pistol rifle ammo recipes have been added to the mixing table. Boing! And Tesla coils no longer take durability when in use. So trap bases, here we come. There he is. Deep breath. Players now have the ability to plant all of the same seed at the same time on the large and small crop plots. Add an option to split items. Yes. Allowing items to be split into thirds and halves. Are you ready for this? Is your mind blown? It really is the quality of life update. Alright, so right now I'm going to split the stack here, and if you look at the bottom, it says split to 1/3. Oh my god, that's so good. I am going to use that all of the time. Alright, back to the patch notes. Beep boop, beep boop. Let's see. Vent doors at launch site now have correct alignment, yada yada yada. Damaging players through structures will no longer cause projectile line of sight. So I don't think it does damage now. Dropped weapons, tools, thrown explosives will no longer clip through the bottom of the rowboat. Freaking yes. On to page 2. Block players no longer receive in-game text communication from their blocker. Large furnace collision has been updated. Large wooden box will no longer be picked up if there's a storage monitor on top of it. Rust Plus, please come for us, please. Triangle foundations can now be connected regardless of the length of extension. So I don't know if that means our offsets have changed because the PC made it extremely strict. So we might be in line with that. So I would say go to Builder's Paradise and really test out a lot of the builds to make sure that your offsets are working. There are ways around it. There's different ways to do offsets, but that was the major reason why those things work. Pixel gaps, things like that. Anybody who's an advanced player knows what I'm talking about. The TC vending machine bunker now functions correctly. So what is that all about? TC vending machine bunker now functions correctly. What? What? I don't know what that means. We have let's see. Head look will no longer move players' arms. Used to be able to see them off to the side, so that's cool. The gap in the wall at launch site no longer allows players to see through it and/or shoot. Smoke grenades, F1s, 4X, and crafting items are now updated to match the PC version or Steam version. As we said before, there's the vending machine bunker there. I have no idea what that means. I don't know if that's a typo. I was like, any vending machine bunkers is either... Okay, so if they're talking about, like, if this gets destroyed, does it have the inventory inside? Because that was updated on the PC version. So, question mark, we'll have to test it. Players no longer able to clip into ladder hatches outside of underwater labs and shoot while standing on the side. Bullet projectiles are no longer missing after attaching and removing a silencer. Players are now able to communicate normally in-game if the Xbox setting is set to upload community creations, is set to block. The walkway assets in the fishing village have been updated. Add the option to disable the gesture wheel. Beautiful. Add the burst mode indicator. That's nice. It'll actually be some dots on the inventory square at the very bottom. This is crazy. Improved in-game world... Or I'm sorry. The one I was saying it was crazy is aim assist features will no longer work if aim assist is off or server is disabled. So does that mean you can turn it on now? Improved in-game world event notifications make it more visible. Yes, that's also with the PC version as well. A weapon attachment UI now dynamically updates when swapping in a single slotted inventories. Research tables. Item box no longer changes size when in a different language. Button prompt for crafting multiple items now updates with resources when resources are used. There is no longer inconsistent alignment of item names. Yes, yes, yes. Tool cupboard's HUD is now consistent with the Steam version. Honestly, I found it to be so subtle, it was kind of hard to notice. Let's see. There's some other really significant stuff here for sure, and it's definitely going to be in line with the stuff that's happening for us in the very near future, because honestly, we need more vehicle transportation, air vehicle and ground vehicles, and we do know they are coming. Unless they change something, but like, there's solid stuff to show that they are literally, it's like the only items left for us to see. Prompts on the small harbor doors, yes, yes, yes. Vending machines can now be placed closer together. So there was some heavy restrictions on the PC, but I don't know if they lax those, or maybe our version just doesn't have the... Because remember before, you couldn't get them close to the walls or anything else, so I think it's more lenient. But there's still some restrictions. So again, go to Builder's Paradise. Players can now refresh the drone marketplace UI. When trying to buy a vending machine that's off or out of stock, the drone marketplace and error message will be shown. The set the default in the binocular ping wheel now works as intended. Spinning loading icon on a note now disappears shortly after the text is loaded. Jackhammer and diving refill tanks are now showing up as intended. Cargo ship will now appear under monument tags. I think before they were not. Cactus Flesh World model has been added. Here's the big one. Well, I'm sorry, the one after this. Dust particles no longer cast blocky shadows. That like visual effects glitch. And roads now branch out more naturally. That is important, and here's why. Ring road system is something that you will use once ground vehicles or modular vehicles are out. So things are more smoothed out so you can actually traverse them. I don't know, that's weird. It's almost like the junkyard, the roads, the ring roads, the smoothing. It's almost electricity. It's almost like they're ready for modular vehicles. Oh wait, we saw the car parts in the water. It's also on their to-do list. So, as I said before, obviously it's not going to be in November, but Testing Branch has a high potential to have something like zip lines, hot air balloons, parachutes, minis, or ground vehicles. And if it's not, then it's got to be one of the Testing Branch at the very beginning of 2025. And I would be disappointed if that was the case. It should really be earlier, but I get it. Let's be honest, we need some of the big time stuff, right? Right. Okay, so roads, rideable horses, heads no longer clip through walls. Beautiful. Showing textures no longer are pixelated when merged into gravel. Road connections are no longer disjointed and now connect properly, again in line with ground vehicles. Industrial doors at the outpost no longer have LOD issues. Underwater visual filter is now applied when the player is underwater around the oil rig moon pool. Solo submarine jib textures no longer are stretched. Pavement in the train yards is now visible. Bradley APC fire projectile effects now emit correctly when severely damaged. Forklifts no longer have LOD issues. The pop-up window for server filters no longer flickers. Large furnaces no longer have LOD issues. Beautiful. Vending machines at Fishing Village now have screens. Yay! And the destroyed garage door is no longer missing, I believe, at the Fishing Village itself. Whew. We did it. We did it, right? We did it. So, as I said many times throughout this, I'm very excited for the update that's happening in December. Remember, we're not getting another main branch update until next year, but Testing Branch will have something. And in the last 2 years, they've had some pretty big ticket items that actually landed and then simmered over the holiday, because we do know that Double 11's not in America, the United States, Los Estados Unidos, so they do not celebrate Thanksgiving. So something's got to be pushed to December because we are still in a monthly development cycle. Tactical cylinders up. So, stay tuned. We'll let you know as soon as these things start to come in. We'll start probing to see what other data we can find to show maybe a little hint as to what's coming for us. Oh, by the way, before all this is, we do have some more stuff that's happening for, I almost said Halloween, but for Christmas. Look, this is the event tree. Look at this. You get something every day. How cool is that? Come back tomorrow. Yeah, so that's going to be in the game as well. And I think the portals are like with the little gingerbread guys. That'll be in there as well. And I think they're active, or this event should be active on PTB coming up. Or I think today, if I'm not mistaken. Excuse me. If I'm not mistaken. So, very exciting. Hopefully we'll see you guys either on my custom server. By the way, here's my custom server ID there on the left. But also, more importantly, if you want to know how to make your base unraidable, whether you're online or offline, be sure to check out the video that is now linked on the end screen. It will help you, and it'll be even more devastating once Rust Plus is out for us on Rust Console Edition. So, hopefully we'll see you in the next live stream / video or on the custom server. Love you. Bye. Set the charges.